If it's live. Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Not So Nerdy channel, and today we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Ashish Kapoor, who is a very famous teacher, physics teacher in Jamshedpur. And well, he has a big fan following, as you can see. I have heard a lot of good reviews about you. So he has this, how should I describe him? A lot of, you know him as, like he has taught you. So he's an educationist by choice, a philanthropist from heart, and a teacher by destiny. So, welcome to Not So Nerdy channel, sir, and thank you for accepting my request. Um,
Yeah,
would you like to say something, or should we start the session?
I'm very glad to be a part of your interview and that too on your channel. I have seen quite a few episodes of your interview which you have been taking and
Okay.
never knew that I'd be a part of it. But thank you for connecting with me and inviting me. It's a honor.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you as well. So, we already have good comments, sir. One is I have 99 problems in my life, but watching Ashish sir live heals all of them.
That's too much therapy.
Okay, so my first question, since you're a physics teacher, so what sparked your interest in physics? It's obviously not, I mean, I found it a little boring. So what sparked your interest?
If you skip this question and go to the next question, I'll tell my spark.
Okay, so how and when did you decide to pursue a career in teaching? Since you are also a BTech engineering student and you have done it from Bangalore, so was it during your college life that you decided to pursue teaching and this subject?
I'll take quite some time for this narration. Here, this is so I did my engineering from Bangalore, and I will say was destined to become a teacher somehow.
Okay.
Um, when I was in my fourth year of engineering, there was a school called Amber Valley Residential School, very close to my college, and I had like more like I went to that school seeking for a job because fourth year generally, if you if you know very well that we generally have projects and seminars and
Yeah.
half of the time colleges. So it like I wanted to earn a pocket money, and as simple as that. And went seeking for a job and not even having a degree in my hand, but still I could manage to get a job. So I thought that there is some kind of latent talent in me which has really helped me to get a job. So I was, one day sitting with student and discussing few things like, it was related to electricity, and we were doing some experiment, and I was asked the 2 days later that whether you would like to teach chemistry or physics. Then suddenly I said physics. Then the principal asked me this question: What generated that spark in you to teach physics? And now the question is with you also. So the spark is basically the curiosity which you see in the students' eyes and the curiosity which you have. See, the knowledge becomes too mundane and it becomes too hollow and empty if you do not have that curiosity. And I think uh, for subject like physics, there's a level of curiosity which gets generated every hour and every minute, and there is no end to that curiosity, and that generates a spark.
Okay, so in search of a part-time job, I would say, and you discovered your
Later, when I got a job in general, and there were certain circumstances which held me back from taking the job at my place, and then I had to, resort to some other means by which I can earn the pocket money once again. and I never knew that I was destined to become a teacher. Then I had to go to school to again post my resume. So I again life took a circle once again, and then I started from zero, and it started with mathematics, taught chemistry, and spark
Wow.
only generated in physics. And
Yeah, that happens.
now I'm a yes.
Yeah, so like it happened with me as well. So, well, anyways, so that was a really nice story. So, like in your experience, what are some common misconceptions or difficulties which students face when studying physics? Like I myself ha faced a lot of problems. Actually, physics was the subject where I scored the least. So, if you can, like, you can address that question, please.
More than misconception and difficulties, I think it's the phobia which is generated, and mostly every child who comes to me generally initially they see that I don't see any spark in their eyes to learn the subject honestly. Just because they have to study the subject, they will study the subject. There is nothing more than that. But eventually they rise to the occasion and definitely they do well. But the general problems and difficulties which a child faces while studying the subject is basically the conceptual problems. You can't just mug up the subject. That's quite obvious because you need to have that extra gray matter while studying the subject, and that can develop only when you love the subject, start reading that subject, and start studying that subject. The practice is one thing which is very much required in physics too. And I think with time, students rise to the occasion, the difficulties are overcome.
True that, yeah. Like, do you believe that a practical approach for the experiments and demonstrations would play a good role in teaching the subject? And like, do you yourself incorporate that in your lessons? Because I have not
Uh,
thought, yeah.
Honestly, when if you ask this question, no, we get very stipulated time, and we get very stipulated time to complete a portion. The entire education system here needs a overhauling. Let me tell you, because we say that when you teach uh, practicals along with theory. Yeah, we do practicals. It's not that we don't do practicals, but when you are teaching a theory, you need to have that hands-on practice experiment, right? Which eventually we do not do. I'm being very honest with it because we do not get that much time because we are overburdened by the volume of syllabus you have to complete by November. You have to take the examination and again the re-examination and again the board examination, and there's no end to the examination. So therefore, students, I think there is some, you know, there we lack in our education system, I believe, because we have to incorporate the hands-on experiment when it comes to physics, and that gives a very clear, picture about the subject, and that gives a very clear concept of the subject. And I think we should do it. I try my level best, but I don't, do it on a
Get
regular
the time.
basis.
Yeah. So maybe that's the reason there's no spark in their eyes.
Yeah, and Spark is
So
also created from how you teach and how you deliver and how
definitely,
to be receptive also. So it's two ways. So
yeah. So do you think, like, out of physics, like when it comes to, schools in general, do you think that industrial visits are good for, better exposure to the
yes,
students?
yes, indeed, yes. That's what I said. We need industrial visits. We need, floor visits. Floor visits are basically where you have those lathe machines and you have some
Yes,
CNC drilling. So you need to go on the floor and learn the subject on ground level. I'll tell you, it really helps a lot. It really helps a lot. And we generally in Jamshedpur we make sure that some of the schools definitely they make sure for industrial visits, and also like we take students to National Metallurgical Laboratory, NML, CSIR. So
Okay.
we do, but not on a very regular basis. But yes, once in a year we do that.
Okay, that's great. And like apart from all this, when it comes to boards exam, that's the most important part of any student's life, right? So, what advice would you give to students who are preparing for it? I mean, recently you got a very good result for from your students, right? Uh, ICSE board results got out. So, like, are there any specific strategies or tips that you want to share with them?
Now, strategies varies from person to person here, but only uh, thing which I would like to add here is consistency. That's very important when you are actually writing 12th board examinations. You have to be very consistent. So you say decide that today I'll study and tomorrow I'll not study. That won't help. And working in the 11th hour, studying 11th hour, and then you're expecting a result of 99% or 90, as of case 90 also. It won't come. So you need to be a little consistent with your studies. And when you have taken up science, you need to actually, you know, give some extra effort and study such that you are not studying for the sake of studying. It's like you are really learning the subject with more grip, more attention, and more like for greater, wider knowledge, not just because you have to write the board examination. So you need to have a thorough, in-depth knowledge about the subject. And moreover, practice. Definitely, we go by the saying, practice makes perfect, the person perfect. And there is definitely I second that.
Okay. Okay. Um, well, like 11, 12 is definitely hard. So yeah, practice is very much required. So you teach for JE as well, right? JE and I mean, I'm not aware.
Yeah, or competition, yes.
Yeah, for the competition. Okay. So can you like share any memorable or inspiring stories of students who have, excelled in physics or any other subject under like your guidance? Oh, like,
There are innumerable success stories, but
okay.
I would like to share a story which is very different than the stories which I have already discussed with few of my students. So it's way back when I was just initially very novice in my profession, and I joined this profession of teaching and teaching physics for 11th and 12th. There was one student of mine who was not belonging to very affluent family, and he was unable to afford his studies also. But his level of intelligence was extremely good, and this child is, as I saw him and I told him, I would like to help you, and only if you get me 100. Then he said me, sir, I can't assure you that because whether I'll get 100 or not, but I'll try my best. But I would ask you, sir, if you would have reframed the question, I would have said yes. I said what? What you would like what you would have asked me for? Then he said, sir, you should have asked me that if you really excel in this subject in near future, then will you guide me? I did not understand then, but that boy right now is doing research in IISER Bangalore.
Wow. Wow.
So,
That's amazing.
uh, so that's the difference. Yes, I have innumerable success stories. Students, I have got seen innumerable hundreds also, and this year I have got only 100 definitely, and that too one in Jamshedpur only. throughout
Oh,
your mission. No, you must.
congratulations.
Uh, Congratulations to that girl, and many students have scored very well, and I really have warmth and happiness for the same.
Okay. Well, a lot of students have joined in the live as well, and they are like booming the chat section. I felt that you are a favorite teacher of all the students. Feels very lucky to be your student. Um, like Sanket is saying, I scored 37 out of 17 first semester and then ended up scoring 66 out of 17 second semester. I guess because of you. And Aryan Jha is asking, what inspired you to become a teacher rather than earning huge through your immense talent and skill of Harville? Yeah.
Earning what?
Rather than earning huge through, your immense talent, like you got placed in Jindal, as you said. So,
Um, I think I am earning huge through immense talent, but at the same time, but
not
Aryan,
flexing
I,
at all.
Ar, Aryan, I think I am more than happy that I am have become a teacher. Maybe it was destiny, but I thank God that I have become a teacher, and I'm a very proud teacher. Because
Oh,
in India, we do not value teachers at all. The profession of a teacher is undervalued. Okay,
yeah.
so I feel that being proud about this profession is one of the greatest thing which I have, I would say, and I would even recommend more youngsters to join this profession of teaching, which they won't, but yes, I would recommend. Choice yours.
Well, I have one question. It was okay. So, is this a misconception that people who like maths naturally like physics, or is that true? What's your
No,
opinion?
no, no. If that was the case, I think all the bio students would have taken mathematics and mathematics also as a subject.
Okay, so could you elaborate on the essential factors that students should consider when choosing their plus two subjects, particularly in relation to their future career paths? Like that's one of the questions that students face, uh, like in
Um,
their life,
uh,
bio or
on,
maths, arts or commerce.
Actually, I think one should actually set the targets right when they are in class 9. In case they do not do that, they can go for um, class 10th, and in case they do not do it in class 10th, they should go and do it for class 11th, and if they do not do it, finally they should come to class 12th. But the target should be, you have need to have a clarity in mind as to what are you pursuing further. If you are pursuing some subjects which are definitely not going to help you in future, I think there's no point studying that subject. As simple as that. uh, uh, we are one set of community that we always go for a rat race of engineering and medical. I think there's a wider scope and spectrum available to the students. I think they should go for it. You have biotechnology, you have B pharma, you have research, you go for BSc, MSc research, and so on. I think you need to introspect more and read more about the avenues which are open there in the market now. I think gone are the days of the rat race as for engineers and
Yeah.
doctors.
That happens. Like, it's very common that you have to choose science, and then in that it's
Yeah.
either engineering or medical.
No, I think if see, not every it's let's be very honest that not every child will be able to crack IIT. Not every child will be able
Yeah.
to. So we need to have plan B open. And for plan B open, for opening up that plan B, you need to set your priorities straight and right. That's it. So that's what I said. You plan it out in ninth, Okay, fine. If you don't, go for 10th. Don't 11th. 11th and 12th, you have to study science, whether you do or die. And finally, on
In
12th,
college,
you have to set.
some college. Yeah. Okay. Uh, this is a personal question. I think all of them personal. So, don't you get bored teaching the same subject like repeatedly? You have been teaching for so many years now. So, how do you keep yourself motivated, or how do you keep your passion for the subject? Um, uh,
Uh, Honest answer,
yeah.
at times, yes. But as I said, there is always a scope for improvement from my side also. So you
Okay.
need to learn more and more in order to, you know, reach out to more students, give them more knowledge and good knowledge, and develop more curiosity and create more spark. You need to understand, learn the subject well, and then deliver. So there's never a boredom which hits me for longer period of time. It's a short-term boredom, and I can overcome it. That's it.
Okay. Well, that's great to hear. So, like, how do you handle situations when students, they struggle with the concepts? How do you handle those kind of situations? Do you apply any specific strategies, or do you, cater to them individually for it?
Strategies as such, if you ask me, I belong and resort to pure teaching and plain teaching. I do not make the subject too tough for the child. It's
Okay.
quite obvious that um, what you have it in book. Sometimes there are students who actually, most of them, they don't have the habit of reading book these days.
Yeah.
So they resort to notes and everything. So you definitely prepare notes for them and all this. Those things are like very secondary. But moreover, what I understand, what I have seen in the past few years now, that students have, if you teach students from the point of view of their thought processes, it works. So you connect few things like let's say today I was teaching capacitors chapter and I showed them a capacitor. I got it from market yesterday and I told them this is a capacitor. It stores electrical energy in the form of charges. So it's very mundane. So like it's very mundane. So I tell them like if you have to start a fan or earlier days we used to have a cooler, that water cooler, the big huge water cooler where you have to fill that water and then the motor starts and all. So
Yeah.
it requires it it extracts a lot of electrical energy, okay, at once, and that at once is supplied by that capacitor. So it requires a lot of electrical energy to operate. How do you get? You don't get it with a simple supply of batteries. So you get it via this capacitor. So I connect it with some real life and some kind of humorous
Okay.
things. So I do it like सो आप पढ़ते नहीं हैं तो आपको शुरुआत करने के लिए एक किक की जरूरत पड़ती है एंड दैट किक इज सप्लाइड बाय मी सो आई एम द कैपेसिटी.
We have a really good, I mean, not good, good for the students, I guess. The Banjana is asking how to convince parents that we don't want to study science.
How do you want to convince them?
Yeah,
First you con- First you convince yourself that you don't want to study science, Devanjana.
true that. Um, One question is from Suraj. I have heard you do something for Cheshire Homes. What's that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yes,
someone
I
is
do.
asking that in the comments. What is it
uh,
about? If you're comfortable in sharing with us, otherwise it's okay. We can skip it.
no, I can, and I think that should be going as a message for all the youngsters, so to do something good for the society. So my mother was a very kind-hearted person, and my mother used to go to Cheshire Home very often, be it on her birthdays or her anniversary or her birthday. So she had a great connect. And after I lost my mother, I think I used to go with her, but after I lost her, I think my connect with them has increased more, and I think I find a lot of solace, as well as I think um, when you see them, you feel contented in life. We do not have contentment in life.
True.
We always crave for bigger things achieved, and that's quite obvious. You need to crave it, crave for, but somewhere we have to be contented in life. And I think looking at them who are very less privileged,
Yeah.
and when you see, you feel that you have to do something which can bring more contentment to you, both mentally and from your heart. And I think I do that on my
That's
in my own way. That's it.
Yeah, that's a very good contribution though. Like it's definitely helping those people. So
Yeah, I do it in my own small way. So I think all the youngsters should do it right at a younger age. I think you should send more gratitude to receive gratitude. Trust me, it works out.
yeah. Now let's come to a little bit of tech part. What are your thoughts on integration of technology and online platforms in education, especially like during the pandemic time? How did you cope up with the online teaching?
No,
Uh,
I think there are two ways to look at it. Now, when you talk about online teaching in schools, it is never a promising thing, which I see, because when you teach the subject, it becomes very difficult, because you lose that personal connect with the students, as well as online platform has its own disadvantages also. But when I talk about uh, introducing subjects like when in engineering, machine design, or be it CAD, CAM, all these things, Solid Edge, or maybe programming. These are absolutely a boom, and it is fantastic to have it online. Let me tell you, you get to learn a lot of things, because most when I talk about softwares like CAD, CAM, AutoCAD, Solid Edge, and all this, you are having the 3D perspective, and child develops more curiosity. So I think if we have subjects which are actually fitting in the online platform for class 11 and 12, I think we should go for it. And
okay.
definitely we have got modules these days, good modules, which are which needs to be showcased to children, where a 3D projection is made, and students
Yeah.
develop the they understand the dynamics of that entire three coordinate axis and everything. So we should go for it, and I'm all for technology, and that's going to be a boom in the upcoming future. And I think
So you
we
think
should
schools should
adopt.
invest? Yes,
Yes, they should. Yes, they should.
they should invest
And
in some VR headsets, like because using them, you can visualize what's actually happening. Um,
yes, they should invest more into technology, because that's the future. And I think with time you need to adapt and adopt both. So that's it.
Now, are there any lessons or skills that you learned in college and you find them valuable in your current profession as a teacher?
Now, when you ask me things which I learned in college, I uh, on when you talk about studies, that is something different issue, and I'm talking about some
Like,
kind of modus. When I talk about some modus operandi, that's method of working. Yes, I learned a lot from my professors. Let me honestly tell you, I studied from Southern India, so Southern India has a very good system. The professors are very punctual, sincere, honest, and they they have a very good working system. So I have learned, and I've tried to adopt it, and I think there are scope for improvement for everybody. So I will evolve more with it.
okay,
So
so yeah, continue.
I think that's the only thing which I adopted from them, and definitely uh, when it comes to knowledge, knowledge is. one thing which you need to be consistent with, as I said, you need to always keep learning, because the day you stop learning, that's a sign of a decline. So if you really want to, excel in life for a long run, you need to study. Maybe in bits and portions, but yes, you need to study.
Do you have any memorable or funny stories from your college life, if you want to share?
Funny. I did not go to.
Memorable. Yeah.
Memorable is like I have never attended any class in the seventh and eighth semester, but I think all the all the engineers there in the chat should not do that, because, and I was shit scared whether I'll get attendance or not, because I still get nightmares. I have attendance shortage because I was busy earning that time.
Well, I guess none of us go to college classes either. I
Yeah.
mean,
So no, I had my own thing. Like we had projects and all, seminars. So I used to do, and only go for those monthly tests that
yeah, quizzes and stuff.
uh,
Mid
I,
classes.
I never had quizzes in my time. Let me tell you, it's like I am 2012 pass out, so that time quiz and everything, very, we had those rote learning process. So we used to only write those subjective papers only, not even MCQs, except for competition examination, no MCQs. So in college, never we had MCQs and all this. So it was rote learning, and moreover, what I never went to college in seventh and eighth period, eighth semester. Had good time with friends. Got placed that time, so even it was like big moment for me. That is the time of my life I had, and I celebrated every moment and started earning at a very younger age.
Do you still keep up with the latest developments or advancements in engineering or
Yes, yes, I yes I do. I do to an extent, and I'll tell you in this case, as I said, learning should never stop. I get to learn a lot from my own students, so it's always good.
yeah,
And
I mean,
I don't take it to my heart, honestly speaking. So I have my students who teach me at times where I don't when I land up in trouble with some software, so they do help us. So it's in this process of understanding learning, you actually land up learning new things. So you are an updated teacher then.
yes. Well, chat section is so live right now. I mean, people are actually typing in a lot. Really, Ashish, we are proud to have you in our relatives. Vidula Lalita has come
Yeah,
on.
my cousins have joined, and I had sent them the live link. And let me tell you, add here, it's not a uh, your show should not become a mutual admiration society, but definitely I would say my cousins are extremely talented cousins I have. I mean, like my family, basically a family of academicians. My Marcies and everybody, they were teachers, and all our academicians and principals, and my cousins are Guinness Book World Recorder. So
Wow, wow,
yes,
that's
so two
great.
of my cousins who must have joined right now, they are Guinness Book World Recorder. One is Anshu Malni and one is Vedula Madhuri. So I think these are you get to learn a lot from your own people, and I am their support. They are my support. That's what we call, we are fire beneath the wings for each other.
Okay, well, that's great. Thank you so much for joining today
Yeah,
for this session.
thank you, and I hope I would have been some productive value for your chat show. And
Well,
a
Harika
pleasure.
is asking, whatever you teach, that will come for sure. Can you say about that? Okay.
Is she asking this question to me, or is she telling that it comes for sure?
Yeah, it does come for sure. So, what do you have to say about that? Do you get
So, 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 so that's the secret masala I would not like to spill. No spill of tea. Thank you.
yeah. And we have very good, like, positive response from the people. Um,
Yeah.
so, yeah. Okay, so what advice would you give to aspiring engineering students who are just starting their college life?
To all my students and to all the kids out there who are in 12th and who are passed out 12th and who are heading for engineering colleges, um, live your engineering life well, enjoy, and study well. The subject, as I said, you are not studying the subject for your own knowledge. You are studying it for deeper perspective, because I know the application of engineering and what you are studying has no connect with it until unless you go on the floor or uh, land up with your job, and the job scenario and what you have learned are entirely two different domains. But still, don't go by the impression that since they are different domains and we can just pass out with you know just essay ME pass karke. No, you need to study well, enjoy the and that's what one thing I would like to add here.
Yeah,
Don't look at the outcome. Enjoy the process. That's it.
yeah, enjoying the process. Well, I'll be graduating soon as well.
So all the best to you.
Thank you.
And
Um,
being an engineer and you are apart from studies, I think you are doing some very different dynamic job, and I think you are very good at it. I think that requires a lot of talent again, so must appreciate you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Really means a lot. Well, I just started it for
You'll go
next.
along.
So we have comments a lot of good comments um um let me find, so Vedula ma'am is saying everything is possible because you're so humble and grateful, and
My cousins actually.
okay. And we have some funny comments. I mean, you can consider if you want to next education minister, apparently.
Yeah, and if I really become the education minister, I would
Are
definitely
you
steal that.
interested in politics?
Yes, let me tell you, I manifest that I become a politician, education
Oh
minister.
my God. Okay. Well, all the best for that. Then I'll I'll showcase this. That see, I talked with the education minister. Yeah. Neeral Didi, thank you for bringing Ashish sir on the channel. Thank you so much, Sanket. And we have Shyam Mahi. He's talking about Ashu. I don't know. Shobha teacher has joined, I guess.
She was my bio teacher, and I am very
Okay.
fond of her. And all my respect to Shobha teacher. I am what I am because of my teachers. I have a lot of gratitude for my teachers and my family who have really supported in my journey of becoming a teacher. To be very honest, when you face storm, I think you stand by your family and your teachers only. And I think my teachers have been great support to me and instrumental in shaping my career. So I have a lot of respect for all my teachers, and specifically to name a few, I would say Shobha teacher, and I have Archana teacher, I have Rumpa Datta teacher, who recently came to me, and they are real, gem I have found, and definitely my cousins, all my cousins, because without their support, I would have not reached here.
Yeah, so Shobha, I'm saying you definitely make physics easier and your students successful in boards and life. Oh,
But
that's great.
I'll add here again a mutual admiration society here. So I will add here Shobha Rani Verma is Shobha Rani teacher is a very good bio teacher, and she makes, and my cousin herself is a bio teacher, Vedula Madhuri. So both are fantastic bio teachers. So they have made life easier for most of the students in biology. So I think they should pat their back also.
Um, we have it's just as you said, mutual admiration is the word. So we are always with you, bhai. Sham Mahi is saying maybe some cousins.
Again, my yeah. All good cousins.
Yeah. So
He
Anshu
himself, he
Mani.
himself Sham is himself is a great singer.
Oh,
So I
wow.
think, yeah,
Okay.
he sings very well. And when you have good support, I think, and I think not only from cousin, I support my students also if they are doing very well in life, and maybe if they require a little push, we should give them a push. Not only
Hmm.
your own people, but yes, to some people who require it. So for my own students also, if somebody needs some kind of help from my end, where they can reach a little more than what where they stand, I think we should give them a push. And again, I said, cousins here are strong pillars for me. And Anshu Malli and Vedula Madhuri, they are um, Guinness Book World Recorders, so you can understand how much
Oh,
admiration I have for them.
yeah. Anshu,
And my
Mani,
cousin,
yes, yes.
Anshu
She's,
Malli is a life coach also. She's a life coach. So
oh,
she holds her own sessions, yeah, every day. And
oh,
today her session is off just because she wanted to see me live.
wow. Thank you so much for joining then. I feel honored. So she has written that very true. Don't go for the outcome, just enjoy the process. Yeah.
Yes. I don't look at the outcome. Honestly, I don't look at the outcome. I only enjoy the process, but yes, I do a lot of hard work because there is no substitute to hard work, which I've learned from all my teachers, and I have been working hard, and I have they're my inspiration. So definitely, I'll keep working hard.
Yeah, all the
There's no,
best for that. So, well, I think we don't have any questions, but just so many comments from people, so
yeah.
I'm just reading them
That,
out.
so I would like to end my way. I think with a mirror. So I would like to give all my best wishes to all my students who have been a great supporter. And definitely, you are nothing if your students do not encourage you, or there is a kind of encouragement which is required from the students end also. So your students take give you enough credit and enough credibility for your work. That itself speaks for you. And definitely, I have been very fortunate that my students have really worked hard along with me. And in this process, both of us have moved forward in life. And there are miles to go before I speak. And definitely, thank you to my family who have been real good support, to my cousins who have been real good support, to my teachers. I have no words. My gratitude goes and reaches out to all my teachers who have been really, really shaping my career. And till now, I resort to any kind of uh, decisions, I resort to them. And definitely thank you to Aditya Sharma and Niral, who have been, handling the technical part. And Niral, thank you for inviting me to your show. It gives real good pleasure. And thank you, and
Thank you
keep
so much.
going. Bring more people to your show who can inspire more and more people in their journey.
Definitely. Like, actually, this session was also planned. It was, I usually focus more on tech, but
Yeah,
you are such a personality yourself, so I specially invited you today uh, because
that's
as
what
we
a surprise to me because you are a technology person, and I have seen your interviews that you have been taking people, you have been interviewing people only related to technology, and I am nowhere near to it. Yes, I am an updated version of technology, but yes, I am nowhere near to it. But
well,
um,
it's very dynamic. We have to be flexible, Like,
yeah, thank thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, so do you want me to read out those comments, like last ones? There's so
You
many.
can.
Like, okay, so Debanjana is saying, Sir always motivates to work a little extra mile, which helps in long run. Shyam Mahi, that's called bonding of relations, which has to be there in every family. Shobha ma'am is saying, we speak truth, hard work has to be acknowledged. Your sincerity is what made you great. Um, Shamai, no doubt, Ashu is very hardworking. That's the only reason he is in the position today. Um Rakhi Khurana, proud of you. Jaunty Bhai OP and all that. Okay, Aryan Jha is asking, Neil Didi, my question, why only sir choose physics as compared to other subjects in this science field? Well, because that's what sparked, like, that's what connected to him, I guess. So he chose that subject. And Neha Kapoor is saying, we are so proud of you. Uh, Vedula is saying, yes, like mother, like son, your auntie. And yeah, and God of
Thank
physics, of course. So, a lot of
you. No,
positivity.
not
Thank you,
these are
everyone.
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you
Thank
want
you.
to say something? No? Okay.
No, no, these statements like God of physics and all this, these are irrelevant. I think there's a lot to learn and go. So,
Acha, do you have any idol in physics? Maybe Newton?
apart from Newton, if you ask, it is Faraday. I think Faraday did a great job. Produced
Okay.
electricity.
Okay. But I think most students also admire Tesla. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Let's wrap this up. And this was a very great session. Thank you so much again, sir,
Thank you.
for joining my session. And yeah. Um,
Thanks, Nandini. Thanks, Nandini.
hmm, okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.